Welcome to my September 4th video update. Every once in a while I like to kind of reflect on what I'm doing right and more importantly what I'm screwing up, because after all that is how we learn, right? I mean, that in practice helps us hopefully overcome those things we're not doing quite right and let us improve on even those things that are working out okay. So at the top of my list is where my eyes are. Right now I am forcing myself to look at that little dot at the end of my iPhone, which is the camera lens, instead of looking into the screen, which is what I typically do, and it drives me crazy. Now I've tried putting a cloth over the screen so I don't look at the screen, and that seems to work. But I guess I need to go back and do that, although right now I don't have that. I just am trying to make sure that I'm always looking at the end of the iPhone. On the positive side, I am really happy that I've kind of forced myself to pick a tool that I've purchased and just have not been using at all or very little, and practicing with it. The Xeon SmoothQ gimbal is the case in point here. After the last 2 weeks of really trying to use this tool more, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with it. I'm also thinking of other ways that I can use it as I discover actually new things that I didn't know I could do with it. And so that's really been helpful, and I hopefully an encouragement to you to do the same thing. Another one on the negative side, lighting. I have gotten in the habit now of doing these video update recordings outside, either in our backyard or, because we've had this inclement weather recently, out here on our front porch. And the front porch is a great place to do it. But we have not a whole, it's fairly shady, but we do have front light coming in if there is light, as there is this morning. But then under the porch itself, I'm really kind of in darkness, even though I try to increase the exposure on Filmic Pro. So I need to incorporate a light into the process. So here's a picture of the setup I'm using this morning. The only thing is, really, I'm having to hold that light in my left hand, that hand over there, so that it's shining on me. I'm not really that dark where I am right now, but it is, and it's a small light, but it does provide a fair amount of light on my face. But I probably just need to use a taller tripod. I'm trying to use the Lollipod tripod, and it just doesn't extend high enough. Lesson learned: use lights. Even though I'm outside, even though I'm not down in the basement in the studio, but make sure that my face is lit up and not totally in shadow, because I think that's also just is the same as my eyes going off to the side is frustrating. Perhaps it is to me, so perhaps also to you as a viewer. I need to have that face of me or whatever subject I'm filming lit up properly. Another one is for consistency of audio quality. I need to use a lavalier all the time. I'm using the SmartLav Plus right now, plugged directly into my phone. So that's another thing I've got to pay attention to. And something else I think makes these kind of talking head type videos a little easier to watch is if you change locations from where you're recording. So I've tried to make a point over the last couple of recordings of doing different takes in different places, either on our front porch or just like now, I just came back in our driveway. So the background's not quite the same as it was before. That can help improve, I think, the watchability of such a video. And along with that is really including more B-roll, more overlays of what I'm talking about, or something that gives a little bit more definition to what I'm discussing. Sometimes, however, these things I talk about in these video updates don't lend themselves to B-roll. But I am including some today to show what I'm talking about. All right, I think that's enough for today. So again, I thank you very much for tuning in, and I'll see you later in the week. Goodbye, have a good week.